Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
Scott Coker, Bellator president, has talked about the potential Rory Macdonald versus Gegard Mousasi super fight that a lot of people were asking for after Gegard Mousasi won the Bellator middleweight title in the first round with a dominant performance over Rafael Carvalho. Gegard Mousasi said, "Hey, Rory, if you want to get it in, we can do it." And now Rory Macdonald, both of these guys are UFC veterans and high-level UFC guys. Both of these guys were ranked in the top 5 of the UFC in their respective divisions, and now they've went over to Bellator MMA and became the champion. Now, with both of these guys as Bellator champions, it's not like that they were fucking, just levels beyond UFC competition, because actually Gegard Mousasi, you could argue, would beat the current UFC middleweight champion. Gegard Mousasi left the UFC on a 5-fight winning streak, KO and TKOing guys, getting finishes over high-level guys like Chris Weidman. And so Gegard Mousasi, he's never lost to a Robert Whittaker, and Gegard Mousasi's fought in multiple divisions his entire history. I think he just had his 50th professional fight at 32 years old. So that's the story of Gegard Mousasi. And then you get to Rory Macdonald, who has a win over the UFC's current welterweight champion, Tyron Woodley. So both of these guys could legitimately be the best fighters in the world in their respective weight class. So if you could imagine, both of these guys in a potential champion versus champion Bellator super fight, yeah, well, that's a great fight. Whenever Gegard Mousasi threw up the idea, I was all in. And so was Rory Macdonald and Gegard, it seemed. But Scott Coker, he likes the idea, but it might not come as soon as we all would have hoped. Because, in my opinion, I think that's the fight to make next, right? What if Gegard loses the belt? What if Rory loses the belt? Then we lose the potential champ versus champ super fight. So I would like to see this fight sooner rather than later, but this is what Scott Coker had to say. As I was walking over here, Rory blowing my phone up going, "Let's do it. I want to get this fight on. We'll go back and let's see. We're working on a few things that will make sense. That fight will happen one day. How soon? I'm not sure." Gegard showed why he's probably one of the best in the world. Now he's our world champion. I knew when we signed him to fight in Strikeforce, he was amazing. He's just getting better and better, and we have some great fights ahead for him. Now, as far as Bellator's middleweight division, it's not really, buzzing with a lot of names that you might know. There's some high-level jiu-jitsu guys we just saw, like Rafael Lovato Jr. There's a couple Bellator middleweights on the rise, but as far as a big name for Gegard Mousasi to fight, I don't know who it could be. But this is the thing about Gegard Mousasi. He's open to moving up in weight. Gegard Mousasi's fought at light heavyweight in the past. Hell, he's fought as high as heavyweight in the past. So maybe Gegard Mousasi will be jumping around, or maybe he wants to get a couple title defenses under his belt just to let everybody know. I don't know. We'll see what Scott Coker has planned. But as far as Gegard Mousasi and Rory Macdonald are concerned, they're both open to the fight, and I also think that it should happen now because, if it doesn't happen first, then like I said, you run the risk of what if Rory Macdonald fights a guy. I don't know who his next opponent would be. Paul Daly, they've already fought. But I'm saying, what if either one of these guys loses the belt? And that's not very likely. These are two of the best fighters in the world fighting over at Bellator. So there's not a lot of welterweights or middleweights you could see beating either one of these guys anytime soon off the top of your head. But if it does happen, we could have lost a potential huge fight. And Rory Macdonald's a guy that's shown interest moving up in the past at the Bellator Heavyweight Grand Prix. He sees these middleweights in there, Chael Sonnens and, these other guys that were in the Bellator tournament. And Rory Macdonald even offered to throw his hat in the Heavyweight Grand Prix. Gegard Mousasi's fought at heavyweight. So Bellator's got some gangster weight stuff going on right now. A lot of guys open to moving divisions, kind of like the UFC, Conor McGregor and stuff like that. But with that being said, man, I'll keep you guys updated on the potential Rory Macdonald versus Gegard Mousasi fight. I want to see it anytime if it happens. I think it's going to be a great fight. I would give the nod to Gegard Mousasi probably off the top of my head because he's did it before. He's proven he can fight at multiple weight classes and succeed. Very experienced champion. But don't sleep on Rory Macdonald. He's definitely one of the better fighters in the world right now as well. So with that being said, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out. And as always, thanks for checking out this video. If you want to join the notification gang, make sure you hit subscribe and also hit the bell next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. And if you want to help this channel reach its full potential, consider hitting the PayPal link in the description or going to patreon.com/fulltimemma and becoming a patron. I'm out.
This is #1 bullshit.